In this video, I'm going to teach you how can you create a consulting firm website like this from scratch on Go High Level, right? And let me take you through the entire website, right? I'll help you understand how can you create this center aligned, focused, desktop version like this. How to have images placed like this. How to create logo sections like this. How to create complex and beautiful layouts like this. You'll also be learning UI and UX principles in this video tutorial, right? Let me help you walk through the entire landing page, right? And also, how can you create editable text on top of images so that you can change it whenever you want to instead of changing the entire photograph or the graphic, right? Again, as you can see, this is a very pretty long, beautiful website. Again, I'll also be showing to you how can you create these kind of sections where your photo is stick on the left hand side and it has no space so that it comes as if it's now coming from the left hand side. And then how can you have these kind of drop down options which kind of amplifies or what do you do, and you can represent more information in a crux format, right? I'll also be showing to you how can you have this testimonial section so that you can have the testimonial or the photo of your client at the back and then have a editable text section on top of it so that you can go ahead and change it if you have to. I'll also share with you how can you create a final call to action section like this, and then how to create this kind of footer on Go High Level. So guys, if you do not know about Go High Level is an all-in-one marketing tool. It literally provides and serves you with all the back-end tech stack that you need to run your online marketing business. Whether you are a solopreneur, whether you have a small business of your own and you want to use an online tool for that, Go High Level is your thing. If you have a marketing agency and you want to create multiple accounts for yourself and for your clients so that you can manage them properly, Go High Level is your thing. If you want to have a white label SaaS brand, just remove the Go High Level lane and add your own name, so you can sell it to your own followers, your own subscribers, to your own fans. Then Go High Level is the place, because I'm going to build this entire website on Go High Level. So if you aren't yet part of Go High Level, then make sure that you click on the link below. You will be prompted to this free trial link, right, as you can see here, and this gives you a 14-day free trial, right? Once you go through this link, then experience the same and try to build this complete landing page from scratch, right? If you do not know more about us and what do, we are a Go High Level focused web design agency. We build funnels, landing pages, for Go High Level clients, right? Our clients are from across the world, basically 12 plus countries, and we have as of now built 200 plus projects for our clients. If you want to know more about behind the scenes, feel free to go on Facebook, type Pritam Bhadra, and you will be able to see my Facebook page and what do we do as a business on a day-to-day basis, right? So that's pretty much it. Let me go back and create the entire website, the landing page, the home page for you on this tutorial. Awesome. So what we need to do is you need to go to your sub account, right? So in Go High Level, you have something called as agency account, agency view, and then you have something called as sub account. Sub account is where you need to create all your workflow, system, website, funnels, your everything literally operates from sub account. So you need to go to your respective sub account, right? And then go on sites. As you can see on the left hand bar, right here, you can see sites. Once you go on sites, you need to go on that go in the top navigation bar and click on websites. When you click on website, then this is the UI that's going to come in front of you. Here on the top right hand side, you can see that you can create folders or website. So if you are someone who has a lot of websites like me, then you need to create folders so that you can place those websites into those folders. If not, you can create directly a website, which I'm going to show you right now. So you click on new website and then you can say it consulting firm website, right? And we are going to click on create. In the meantime, let me get rid of all the other links, right? So that we can focus on this. Okay, so this is what you see when you create a new website. Now here, as you can see, you have pages, you have stats, right? You have sales if you want to have your own products and sell it. And you can also have settings where you can add path to it, right? You can add domain to it. Then you can also add favicon URL. You can optimize things and you can do a lot of things here, right? So we'll go to pages, and when we'll click on the right hand thing here called as add new pages, right? I'm going to name this as homepage. Okay. This is going to be the home. Okay. Now I'm going to click on create new page. So this is going to create the page in the meantime. By the way, let me just show you, this is not just a single page website, rather it's a multi-page website where we are going to focus on home page, about page, services page, and contact page, right? In this video, I'm going to create the complete home page, the complete everything from scratch. And this is going to be a series or a part-wise tutorial. So you will be having about section, services section, and contact us section, and a dedicated video for that as well. So make sure you watch the entire thing if you want to learn about Go High Level and how to create premium website like this on your account, right? So here it has created the new page, right? So I want to click on create from scratch, create from blank, or I can click on this thing, and then it's going to give me an option to edit in a new tab, which is what I want, because I want to have my navigations proper and very clear, right? So I'm going to have that. So it's loading for the new page. I'll just take the reference page here, right? So I basically got all my design elements like these photos, the logos, and everything, right? Ready and packed up, so I can show it to you how to build this on Go High Level. Okay. So this is going to give me this page here. So as you can see, right, this literally has the editor, right? This is what we call as the Go High Level editor, which is where you need to do the magic, okay? And I'm going to show you how to do that magic, right? But let me just help you aware of it, right? All this top section is where you control all the elements, how and things are going to look, and different parts of it, right? On these top sections, right? When you click on add an element, it gives you literally everything, right? From the base element to the top element, and base elements mean sections, and then top elements, which basically means that you can add text, headlines, buttons, and all of that. Okay, so we're going to add a full width section. Always add a full width section, because a full width section allows you to change anything on the entire width of the landing page or on the website, or basically on the screen, right? And you want to have the control, the total control on it, and don't want Go High Level to make things on their own on the back end, right? So you just want to have everything on top like this. Okay, so as you can see here on the reference website, the first thing that we have is this navigation bar, and we're going to create the navigation bar on this side, right? So first of all, I just want to grab the color, right? So if you do not know how to grab the color, is basically this extension called as color pick eyedrop, and then whenever you hover on any kind of website, any color, it's going to give you the hex code. Once you get the hex code, you click on that section and you go to background colors in the settings, okay? And then in the background colors, you can add those colors. Let me just grab it nicely. Okay, so I'm going to write my hex code here, and then I'm going to click on add the color. Okay, so now this hex code is also added right into my batch. At the same time, it's also now added into the background that we selected. Okay, so this is a Consulting Pro website, which basically means that it has a logo. It has four you know nav bars or the elements, right, which transforms when we hover on that. So the color literally changes here, as you can see, right? And then you also have a get started button on the right hand side corner. Of course, we can do that. So to do it, we click on add rows, and we want to have a two column row. I'm going to show you the reason why, right? I'm also going to select the two column row, and I'm going to go to the settings, and okay, first of all, I'm going to click on the section, and then I'm going to come at the bottom. At the bottom, I'm going to enable, right, the allow row to take the entire width, as you can see here, right? And the reason why I want to do is because I want this row to extend till the corners. Okay, now I'm going to select on the two column row. Okay, as you can see, the width is now 100, since we allowed it to complete go to the extent of the left and right side. So we're going to make it 90. Okay, just to make sure that we have some space, or just make it 95, probably that will be better. Okay, now we want to drag this here, and then we want to add an element called as navbar. Okay, okay, where exactly is this? Awesome. Okay, so we added the nav bar from here. I'm just going to show you again, right? You come on the element section and then you scroll down to the bottom, right? You will be able to see in the blocks, you'll be able to see navigation menu. So once you drag on this, it's going to give you the navigation menu, okay? And then here, I want to add a button. It's very simple. I just want to click on button, right? And then I want to get that button here. Okay. So now we're going to style it and make sure that it looks the way it looks. Okay. So first of all, we want to get rid of this black of this white color because we don't want it to be black white. And the way to do it is it basically has a background color which we do not want. So we want to take this and make a the same color. Okay. Then the text here are all black. So I want to make it white so that I can see them at least. I also want to make the bold text white. Okay. So yeah, these are the three navigation menus items, right? That we call as. So those are there, and this is the business name. So we don't want the business name first of all, and we want the image here. Uh, okay, let me get that image or that logo. Okay. So logo in the menu, yes, optimize image load. We don't want it because we get always all our images compressed. So make sure that all your images are compressed. Okay. Now then we're going to get that logo as well. Okay. That logo is here. So we're going to get that logo. The logo looks pretty small. That's not what I want. So just going to change the width and height from here, right? The other what I want to make it is I want to make it height as let's say 70. I think that's good, right? And then I want to add home, about, services, and contact. Okay, so I click on that and then I go ahead and check the menu items. See, in the menu items you already have home, about, team, and contact. So basically I can select on these six dots. As you can see, these six dots, if you just hover on this, then it says reorder, which means that you can just take it and hover on that. Okay, and you can drag it to anywhere. Okay, you can keep it inside a menu, right, as a sub menu, or you can take it outside and then align it to other menu items. Okay, so in this we're going to create home, about, services, and contact, right? I'm going to go here. Yeah, I want to make sure that the text are all uppercase. Okay, so this to be home, about, services. So we'll get services here, services, and then contact. Okay, and then as you can see, these are like really squished up on this end. I don't want that. I want them to be spaced properly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on horizontal spacing here, right, in the same navigation menu settings, and then I'm going to give it some space. This looks nice. I'm going to take this button and I'm going to make it right aligned, because I want this logo and this button to be on the extreme ends. Okay, and then I'm going to add this get started thing, but at the same time I also want to have the color of this button, okay, which is this reddish color. Okay, so I'm going to click on this and then I'm going to add this color. Okay, I'm going to click on adding a custom color and then I'm going to add the hex code. Okay, probably didn't take the hex code. Let me try that again from this. Yep, it should take the hex code now. Yep, it got the hex code, so it's going to red. Okay, sorry. I just made the text white, which I was not supposed to. So I need to go to the background color of this button and then make it red. Okay, now this looks the same color of this one. Okay, now we want to write is what we want to, the text we want, this is, we want get started. Okay, it's there. I want to reduce it to 16 probably, because let me check what is the text size on this. Okay, the way to check is very simple. You click on font details, which is an open sans 16 pixels. Okay, this is probably going to be, so I believe the headings here are uh, pop-ins. So I'm going to add pop-ins to the entire headlines of the complete website. Okay, the way you do it is you hover on these, navigation things, and then you click on typography with a T. You click on typography with a T. The headline font is Montserrat. I want it to be pop-ins, right? I won't take myself away, right? So all the headlines are going to be pop-ins. Okay. So this we saw that was 64 pixel. That's fine, but the text here on the button was 16 pixels. So I want to click here. I want to make it 16, which I already did, which is great. Now I want to make it circular in size, which is what this button is looks like, right? So what we want to do is we want to go to advanced and then come at the bottom. Okay. No, basically want this to have borders, right? So come at the bottom and click on borders, make it full border. Okay. So once you make it full border, then make the border width as 1 pixel and then select the same border width of the color the button has. The reason for this is very simple, that we want the border to be on the same color or no color. You can also click on this as no color or on red as, as the border color. The thing is, we have decided to add 1 pixel of border to this, which basically means that it's going to add 1 pixel on top of it. It's going to add 1 pixel at the bottom of this because it's a round, right? So it's a complete button. So 1 pixel are going to get added, which are basically going to add 2 more pixels to the entire width of the height of the button. Okay. Cool. Now we want the border radius of these buttons. The border radius I want to make it like 150, so that it is now uh, completely capsule type. Okay. Now we're going to click on advanced and we're going to give some effects to it. So you click on, can you see here button effects, right? So I'm going to click on button effects, right? And then I'm going to add elevate. So now what happens is when you hover with your mouse on this, it's going to elevate itself. Okay. And this is super amazing. This looks super responsive as well. Okay. Now let's decide whether the text here are center aligned or not, right? It cannot auto adjust because there is one more element taking a finite space. So it will always auto adjust based on its entire length of the complete element. It will not consider the element, right, which is on the same row, right, which is a problem because both these elements cannot interact with each other. So we have to manually add this and give it some spacing. Okay. So if you see here, now, if I do something like this, then this looks like this is at center, right? You have the logo on the extreme left, you have the button on the extreme right, and you have all these things at the center. Now, the issue with this is when we hover on this, it kind of gives a white blockish structure, right? When we hover on this, and we don't want it. We want this to change color when we hover on this, right? That looks very beautiful and premium. So we definitely don't want this. So the way we change is very simple. You click on the navigation bar, basically navigation menu, right? And then as you can see here, hover background color, right? I don't want to have any hover background color, right? So when you hover on this, it basically changes color to black, right? It changes the color of the text to black and the background to no color because you have chosen no color. So whatever the color the background is in general, it takes up that color. Okay. It might be a bit of confusing, but once you follow through, once you're doing it, it's going to be easy and easy to understand, right? So, and then you go to advanced, right? Uh, okay, this is for drop down options only. So basically what I want is when I hover on this, it is now black color, but I want it to be the red color. Okay. So, okay, now I have to make it red, right? So as you can see here, there's something called as hover text color. Hover text color is black at the moment, which means that when you hover on the text should change the color. Okay. So we are going to make it red. Now what happens is when you hover on this, it becomes red and it has a very beautiful feeling to it. I'm just going to preview and show you the live link so that you can also see the difference of it. Okay. But this is going to be a long video, so you make sure that you are with your pen, paper and everything. Okay. Now, when you hover on this, it just looks so good. Okay. So I just want to make it 90%, right? Now, if you see this, the entire thing is not really center, which is fine. We can always center align this by making it a bit towards left. You're basically asking the column to, uh, to adjust. And we might also, what we want to do is we want to reduce this a bit so that we can allow the button or the logo to have some space for himself, right? We definitely want that. And now we can save it to make it look center aligned. And this is how it looks. It's kind of center aligned, but we can just change it and make it like this. Okay. This is how it looks, right? It looks beautiful. Let's proceed forward and make other changes. Okay. Now we want the hero section to be here. Okay. We also don't want too much of spacing in there, but that's fine. Let's proceed with the next section, which is going to be the hero section. The hero section will again contain the same color, which is going to be the same purplish color, right? And then it has so let's understand what exactly we have it on the hero part of it. Okay. Apart from the navigation menu, we have this hero, this main headline. We have the sub headline. We have two adjacent buttons of different colors, right? Which on hovered it elevates. We also have these elements, as you can see here, this is whitish elements on both ends. We also have this collage kind of thing where we kind of represent the youthfulness of the company, the consulting pro company, right? That this right and these photos are super important. Make sure that whenever you're working with a client or you're having your own business like this, you need to have some good photographs so that the good photographs can elevate your design and look and feel. It also showcases the perception of the visitors that come on the page, because let's say you want to attract a business and the business comes to your website and they see kind of dull photos, the photos are not that really great, then they won't really have the confidence, because the human interaction is super important. And if they can see nice young creative nicely lit up photos, then it's going to create a deeper impact and want to take your brand value to a next level. So make sure that you focus on these small things, because as a brand designer myself, along with a web designer, I kind of take this into a notice. And as you must have seen, big companies also follow this. So if you want to grow your business, grow your brand, focus on these small things. You might think these are small, but it kind of hits the visitor in a different sense, right? So yeah, that just a quick note on that. So let's proceed forward and make all these changes to it. Okay. Now here is where the section ends, and this is a new section of the logos. Okay. So let's create this amazing hero section. Okay. So now what we want is we want to add a column, because we want to add a heading to it, right? The heading should be this, as simple as that. But let me check the font details. The font details is popping and it's 64 pixels. So we're going to we're going to copy the same text and then we're going to make it 60 pixels. Okay. So as we made it 60 pixels, we're going to add some color to it. The bold color needs to be white, right? And then there is a subheading, and the subheading is this one. Okay. So we're going to add one more subheading to it, right? And then this is going to be the subheading. Again, it's a black color, which we do not want. So we want to change it to kind of grayish tone, or we want a lighter tone to it. So we just want to go into the palette and choose a lighter tone ourselves. Okay. I mean, guys, you don't really always have to use the color picker. You can use your own judgment as well and then choose colors based on your requirements. Okay, let me see what is the font details here. It is 18 poppins. So I'm going to make it 18. It's currently 23, and that's the reason why it was a bit too much on the face. And I want to have some margin to it. Let's say 10 pixel of margin. And then I want to have these kind of two buttons here, right, side by side. The way to do is you create one more column, but this is going to be a two column, right? It's very simple, very straightforward. These two columns will have buttons side by side. So I'm just going to have this button here. This button needs to be, let me check the button size itself. The button size is, okay. So the button size here is, the font size basically is 22. So I'm just going to make it 22. and then we probably have everything that we wanted. Okay, so that's there. The button looks good, but I believe the button can have a bit of width to it, or the side height, side padding can be a bit more. So as you can see, the padding here is 20. I want to make it 40, and this also I want to make it 40. Right now, this looks good. I want to have a similar thing, but it needs to be on the other side. So we have to make it left aligned, and then we want to make sure that this has the same color as a background. At the same time, it has this kind of a hoverish effect. Okay, now here's the thing. Let's understand the customer psychology or the UI design principle as to why you have one button as a kind of dominant and one as a kind of non-dominant tool in the entire space, right? If you want your users, right, if you want them to take a certain direction, certain action, right, into one particular direction, then you want to highlight that thing more than the other thing. But you also want them to check your services, right? For example, if I come on your website, a consulting website, and I want to grow my web design agency business, and I kind of uh, don't want to feel restricted that, hey, the only option that you have on your website is to get started. Can I check your services? Can I? If I can, then where is the option, right? And as you know, any good headline or any good header or header subsection should have all the options for them to consider you as a probable option for their business growth. Okay. In that case, if I do not want our services to be that dominating, but still I want our services to be there so that people can, click it if they really want it, then I will make this kind of thing which is not so dominating. But my primary focus is always to get them to click on get started. They can proceed forward, they can do checkout or do a lot of other things, whatever you want to do with this button, right? That's the psychology. And you must have seen that in many other businesses, many business websites also, or landing pages, funnels, you will have two buttons, but one button is going to be dominant because you want that to be the primary action and you want this to be the secondary action, unless until the visitor is inquiring about that secondary option in the first place. Right? I hope I was able to make sense. If not, make sure that you watch the complete video again, because it's super important that these principles, what I'm teaching you, is not just about web design. I'm teaching you about user experience, UI, and everything. So make sure that you take a note of it, or you can also search about UI and UX and learn from it, right? So that's there. Let's get back to what we are working on. This button is going to be our services, so we're going to make it our services, right? And then we want to make it transparent. Why? Because I want just the background color to be dominant, right? That's it, right? But as you can see here, it already has a border and the border is red, which I don't want. I want the border to be white. So I'm going to go to the border section. I want to make it white, right? If you do not know where the border section is, guys, it's super simple. When you click on a button or any kind of element, it gives you the settings. It gives you all the CSS settings on the right hand sidebar. So you can just navigate on general, advanced, and you can make your changes that way. Okay. But here's the thing, you see, the spacing between these two buttons is good, right? It is not too close, it is not too far, it's just beautiful. And I want the same to happen this, but the spacing here is too less. If you can see, the spacing here is too less compared to that. So what I want is I want to have some space and equal space. So they all are center aligned. And the way to do it is very simple. You click on this second column, not this button element, second column, and then you come on the general settings and you come on the margin. You can see left margin, and we're going to make this 20, right? And then as you can see, both the buttons got separated from each other with 20 pixels or 10 pixels on each side and a total of 20 pixels. That's exactly how you build this entire thing. Okay, need to plug my power services there, but that's fine. So that's how you build the entire thing as a button. Okay, now you want to add these we'll add this later on. Now you want to add these images that showcases your company or your brand, right? And the way you do it is very simple. You have to create this kind of images already. You can do it on Photoshop, Figma, Canva, depending on which tool you're using it, right? And then you can add it as an image. So I'm going to add this one column here, right? Also, let me get that, grab myself on the top. I want to make this entire thing, I want to take this section and then make it that it should take the entire width. And the reason why I'm doing this, because I want the image to be very broad. I want the image to take the complete surface on that it has the availability to. Okay, so I'm going to click on image and I'm going to add that image. For some reason the bar is not working. Anyways, I'm going to add the image here, and then in this image section I'm going to turn this off because we always have optimized images. Then I'm going to business. By the way, if you do not know how to optimize your image, never upload a raw image file, okay? Because those are heavy files and that can actually ruin the speed of your page. Of course, if you're building long pages, the speed will be low because you have a lot of content, a lot of photographs, and a lot of things. But you always need to do your best as a developer, as a web designer, and if you're using something like Go High Level, Webflow, depending on whatever tool you're using it, right? So you need to write compress compress PNG, right? And when you click on compress PNG, right, it's going to give you this option, right? You can upload your file and compress it. You can also use JPEG, you can also use GIF, and you can also compress PDF. So a pretty good website to use. So make sure that you use them because this is very nice. I like it. So coming back to the topic, I'm going to use the main header image, which is here, right? Now here's the thing. This header image looks very nice and it goes very well with the colors of it, right? But I think it's a bit low, so I just want to make sure that I want to take all the opportunity to make the paddings 0 on top. Probably I also make this as, let's say, 10 pixels instead of 15 pixels. Okay, Go High Level did an amazing job with the margin and padding here. This was released, I think, a month ago. Before that, it was not that great, but now it's buttery smooth, and I really appreciate what Sean and team are doing. It amazing job. Shout out to them, right? So yeah, now what you want to do is, you see now this looks nice, but you also want to have these kind of sections, right? How do you add these kind of sections? So these are basically images or SVG files that we have added. So you can just click on the entire section because we want to add them on the entire section, right? Now we want to uh, take the background image, right? And we want to have our own background image, okay? Which is this one, right? So you won't still be able to find it. You can still see it here. What we basically want is we want to go to the image uh, options, right? As you can see here, we want to make this 100% width. When you make this 100% width, then all the entire image which you uploaded right now is going to take the 100% width of the width which is available to you in your given screen. It can be it can be a laptop, it can be desktop. Then it is going to change based on how you have set the dimensions on. Okay, now what I think about this is it has a lot of space to it, which we definitely do not want it. So we just want to make it 10 pixels, and we want to reduce this to, I mean, 5 pixels literally. We really don't want this too much of space here. Same goes for the second section as well. We just want to make it 5 pixels, and same goes for this as well. So basically cutting down on all the space, non-required space. Okay. So that's how it's going to look. Also, one thing that you must have noticed is that the corner of this is kind of a round shape, right? Both the corners literally are kind of a round shape. So that's how I'm going to do. And if you do not know how to do it, just watch the video. You click on the entire section here, right? And when you click on the entire section, go to advanced, right? Then click on bottom border. You see here, bottom border. Click on bottom border and then make it like 1 pixel, which is there, and then just add the same uh, background color. Okay. Now for the border radius to it, you just need to make sure that this is, let's say, 50 pixels. I think that will be too much. Let's make it 25, and then instead of all edges, what you want to do is you want to only make it bottom only edges. right? So what this is going to do is it's only going to allow the border radius to be applied only to the bottom edges. Okay, that's how it's going to impact the design of it. Now let me preview it, but you can see how it's going to look at the as the live view on it. Okay. Okay, so see, we are very close to what it normally looks here, right? This is very simple to what it looks. I really like it. There's probably a bit of change of text, image size, which we can do it. But yeah, this pretty much look exactly the way we had it. Okay, so I'm probably going to increase the size of this logo a bit. So what I'm going to do is instead of having it 70, I probably will make it 80, right? I think that should be more than enough to make the final changes. Okay, that's how it looks, ladies and gentlemen. Now I'm going to go ahead and proceed to the next section. The next section is going to be all about the logos. Okay, we do not want to add logos about we have worked with our clients X, Y, and Z. We simply want to showcase our logos because people know that these are our clients, as simple as that. So because at the end of the day this is a consulting firm, so you have to do a lot of things that people can actually understand. Instead of you just have to type out everything, you cannot type out everything. You have to use basic UI principles in order to design so that people can understand, as simple as that. Okay, uh, then you need to take this entire section and make it full width. Okay, so how many logos do we have here? Okay, let me help you understand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So we have 7 logos here. So what we need to do is we need to add a 7 uh, column row, but we do not have a 7 column row. Oh my God, what to do about it? No, no problem at all. These are added as an option, but that does not mean that you cannot change them. Okay, so you add a 6 column row, and then when you click on the 6th column, you just duplicate it, and then you have, even though it calls 566, well, this is the 7th column row, right? So that's how you can add as many columns as you want. Okay, and now you want to add an image here. Okay, my head always pops up. Okay, now you want to add an image. Okay, sorry, this bar is not working for now. Add an image. Once you have added an image, now you want to, I do not want to have any kind of spacing. Okay, I want to make it zero spacing. Same goes for this. I want to make a zero space. Okay, I want a ton of image optimization because all my images are optimized by default. And the first logo that you can see here is Docker. Now this is a custom designed premium template website. So you can add any logos you want based on your requirements. Okay. So we have Docker here. We add Docker. Then we have Evernote. So now what we need to do is we need to just copy the image, drag it there, and then add it. So just want to copy the image everywhere. And the reason for why we are doing is because to save time. Because as you can see here, it has 0 pixels. But if we have to add an image element, then we have to change manually these from 0 to 10, 0 to 10 every time. Instead of that, just pick out the images where you have already made the changes and then copy it. As simple as that. Okay. So this is Evernote. So we're going to add the Evernote here. Right. So Evernote is added. After that, we have Amplitude. So make sure that once you have once you have clients like these, or you are yourself a very big business and you have amazing clients, then you add the best possible logos in there. Okay, the logos that people can relate to. If you have worked with those kind of clients, then you need to add those kind of logos because that's the first impression at the end of the day, right? You might have worked with 200 plus clients, but if you have worked with something like PayPal, we definitely want to have that logo on your page. Okay, so this is for Airtable, and then we have PayPal, Clearbit, and Spotify. Awesome. So we're going to add all of them now. What was that? What is that? PayPal. Yeah, PayPal, Clearbit. We're also going to add Clearbit now, which is the second last of our logos. And then we're going to add the last logo in here, which is Spotify. right? Awesome. So now we have all the logos aligned and this looks pretty amazing, right? And if you just see one thing, if you just go in depth about the logo is very crystal clear. And the reason why the logo is very crystal clear is because it is an SVG. If you can add SVG files, which is low in size, then that's going to be amazing. And the quality of that will be freaking good, right? But you have to make sure that these are low in size. Otherwise, it's going to be a problem, right? Now we want to add our services section, and I'm going to show you how to create this beautiful our services and modern section. Okay, so you know, click on create another section. In this section, the first thing that you need to do is, so let's understand that how this section was created. When you understand the underlying thought process of creating this section, you will be able to design it upfront without making any mistake on the first go. Okay, this entire thing is on one row column, which is on shifted towards the left hand side. This, as you cannot have two buttons in one column side by side, right? You will only have on top and bottom structure. So this is a new column, okay? And this is another new column, okay? Now this is a completely two new row section. So this is going to be a one row, two column section. And the same, this is going to be a three column row section, okay? So let me help you understand everything here with this three row column section, which is going to be on the first one. Here, I'm on the smallest. Okay. So here, the first thing is our services, right, which is on red, and then we have high impact services for your business. Okay. Then we have this button, small button, and then we have browser services. So first we're going to write this one, right, and we're going to see that what is the font size, which is 22, right? So we are going to add a font size of, I probably will be suitable here on the top A, right? So I'm just going to add our services here and I want to make it 22 pixel. Okay. Okay, cool. Now I just want to make sure that I have the color for it. Cool. Now I want to make sure that I have the heading as well because the headline is going to be just below this. Okay. So you want to click on headline and then you want to add the headline here as well. Now make sure the headline is left aligned so that it looks good. At the same time, let's understand what is the font size. The font size is 44. So we want to make it 44. Oops. I think I deleted that section mistakenly. Now, that's a work wasted or my efforts wasted, but that not the case because here, as you can see on the top, you can have redo and undo options. Hopefully that I can redo my changes. Amazing. I did that. So I just want to click on 44. So once I click on 44, as you can see here that this is not coming as a two-line headline, right? Because this is on two lines and that's the way we want it, right? We do not want this to be on three line or four line. So here we are going to make this 44, but we're going to adjust here. You can see this is circle here, right? You need to hover on the circle and then drag it to the left, to the right, the way you want it. That's how you adjust the size of the column. I hope that made sense and I hope that's working for you. Okay. Uh, so I also want to shift this thing as well. Now this looks good. Okay. Now I want the small get started and browser services. Instead of creating the button from scratch, I'm going to grab this button, right? And I'm going to just duplicate it. And then I want to drag this. The way you drag any element is through this four arrow, indication. Okay. So you just want to drag it, hold it, and then drag it. Okay. Cool. Now we have this thing as well. Now we have our services as well. I just want to copy it. I'm going to come back here. You cannot see the button for the simple reason is because this is white. I just want to make it black and I also want to make the border black. this is becomes visible, and you can see that this button is fairly bigger than the one, is because this button has more pixel width compared to this one. Okay, so rather than that, what you can do is you can just delete this, copy this, add it here, right, and then make it center, make it left aligned. You can write the text you want, which is browser services, and then you can change the text on this. So this is going to be eventually black, and the background is going to be transparent, and the border here instead of red is going to be black, right? So now as you can see here, they are again very near to each other, and we're going to use the same principle that we used to create this kind of button with, this equal amount of spacing within them. And the way to use it very simple: you select the third column row, and then you add, let's say, a 20 pixel of padding in there, and that's how this button looks, and this looks super amazing, and exactly the same way the way it looks in the original page, correct? Now we are going to develop and create this entire thing, right? This is where you're going to add project management, process development, world-class support, quality assurance, and human resources. This is this takes time, of course, and make sure that you watch it till the end. Okay, so I'm going to create one more row column, and let me see, it's going to be a two column row. Okay. Now here in this two column row, we have project management, we have process development, and then we have all these things. So here, first of all, I want the color of the background. So the thing that I'm going to do to get the color is very simple. I'm going to get my color picker eyedrop, and then I'm going to take that color. Okay. Once I have the hex code of that color, I'm just going to click on the first column, not the entire column, but the first column. And then I'm going to add the dates on the background. Okay. Right. You got that pinkish color, and here you go. You added it. Okay. It looks amazing. I also want to make sure that I want to add the blue color as well. So I got the blue color as well, and then I added that blue color here. Cool. So now we have the red color and the blue color. I just have to make sure that they look the way exactly the way it is here. Okay. So first things first, we want to have some border on this, right? So we want to make it full border. We want to make it 1 pixel, and we want to make it, let's say, of the same color. And then let's say we add 20 pixel to it. I think that should be good. Or 15 pixels are also not bad. Let's add 15 pixels to them. Right here as well, I want to make it full border, and then I want to make it 1 pixel, and then add this blue color border, and then there should be 15 pixels. Okay. Now, as you can see here that this one, right, this has a much more lengthier. So this mostly covers almost 65% of the entire width, and this is almost 45% of it, right? And so that's the reason why we are going to drag this and make it equivalent, right? It need not be exactly similar, right? So you don't have any measurement element here, but you just have to make sure that this looks proper based on your judgment of your visual changes. Okay. Again, I want to have some spacing to it, so I just want to add 20 pixels to this, right? And this is how it looks. Okay. I think this looks the way I wanted it, so I'm very happy with it. Let's proceed forward. I think I've added 15 pixels to it, which is, I think, is fine. Now what we want to do is okay, we want to add project management, we want to add this image element, and then we also want to add this text on it. Okay, the way we do it is these are going to be three different elements with three different kind of spacing formats to be added inside the element, so that we can attain the same kind of spacing that we see here in the origin space, right? And the way to do it is very simple. I'm going to show you that. Let's add a subheading, and let's copy this basically. What is the size of this? This is going to be probably 28 pixels, which is fine. So I'm just going to add this, and I want to make it 28 pixels. Okay, cool. I think we have got what we wanted it. Now we want to make it left aligned, right? And then we want to have this image. Okay, got it. We have this image and then we want to have this text. So I'm going to add an image element to it. Sorry, this is not working. Yeah, so there's an image element to it. And then I'm going to add uh, the text to it. So I'm going to add a paragraph to it. Okay. I'm going to just copy paste the paragraph here. Okay. This definitely doesn't look the way it is supposed to be. And I want to show you how to make those changes. Okay. First things first, we want to have some spacing on top of it. As you can see here, there's a good amount of space here. There's a good amount of space from the left hand side to the text here, and then there's a good amount of space from the image as well, right? We definitely want to have those spacing aligned properly. So here the text is here. Let's make let's have around 40 pixels of spacing here, right? Let's say uh, for image spacing, I want to have, let's say, 20 pixels, right? Also, I want to make sure that the side of this has like 40 pixels should be fine. I mean, we can make it 40 or let's make it 20. Yeah, 20 is good. Okay. The image here should be the image that we see here. So we can just add that image, not a problem. Let me grab that and let me add that as an image. Cool. So we have that image as well. We want to make restrict it to, let's say, 100 pixels. Probably that's a lot. Just want to make it 70. That's nice. Grab it, and as you can see here, so we for this element, right, we have added a 20 pixel of padding to it. The same goes for, it has to go for the same for this image. So it already has a 10 pixel padding, but I want to change it to 20 so that all of these things are aligned on the same line. Super important to consider, because if you do not make it align, it's not going to look proper and people are going to be, are not really happy with it. So we're going to do the same thing for the text, but there has to be a 20 pixel of padding to it. Okay, so let me see what is the font size here, which is 16 Lato. So I just want to make it okay, I just want to make it 16, right? And then I also want to have some spacing to it. Let me see the spacing on this. The spacing is significant, so I want to have some significant spacing to it. So let's say I want to have like 40 pixels of spacing to it. Okay, now this looks very similar to this one, right? We are going to follow the same thing for the text as well. I just want to copy the text here so that it retains all the properties that I've already asked it. Okay, by the way, let me just help you understand one thing. Okay, this has a significant higher space compared to this one. So I just want to make sure that this has a significant higher space as well by allowing a 20 pixel of padding to it. Okay, now it looks good. Now I can copy it and then duplicate it. Okay, so since I have copying it and not recreating it, this is going to retain all the properties, which means all the properties on the margin, padding, and everything is going to be retained because I just copied from the past element where I already made the changes. If you try to create new elements, then you will not have properties, and because of that, you will have to do it again from scratch, which is kind of painful, honestly, right? So we don't want to do that, and we want to click, you want to have this as process development. We definitely want to change that image. The image is going to be something around a gear which is revolving. Okay, cool. Now we want to have the same text here. I just want to copy it and add text here. Okay, I think now it looks exactly how it is on the original page. Now let's move forward and create these three sections, and let me show you how to do it. Okay, okay, let me first. So now again, what I'll do is instead of again creating the same thing, again coloring it, again adding the padding, again doing everything, I just want to copy the entire column. Okay, I copied the entire two column, but you might ask me, Pritam, it is a two-row column, not a three-row column. We want a three-row column, right? I think yes, that's fine, and we can always change it and always add another column to it and then add some 20 pixel padding to it, right? So it creates that. I mean, The only thing that you have to understand is you have to understand the builder from scratch. Once you understand the builder from scratch, you can literally build funnels and website even when you're sleeping it, right? That should be how level of expertise that you need to have on your craft, basically. Okay, but that only comes with practice. So watch my videos and practice as much as you want, and that's the only way to improve in life and grow your own skill set. Okay. So I'm just going to make sure that these are all properly aligned as per what I think should be good. Right? I think this is good. Right. Now what I want to do is I want to change the colors to it. So is okay. I'm sorry guys. I need to plug in my battery. I will come back in. Awesome guys. So I'm back now. So I just want to make sure that we have this blue here, yellow and red here. Okay. So this is going to be blue. So the blue color we already have it on our palette. So we have this blue. This is going to be yellow and this is going to be red on the red. We do not have the yellow, so what we'll do is we basically grab our eyedropper and then get the color of it. As simple as that. We're going to click on this and then we're going to add a yellowish tone to this. Okay. Awesome. Now we literally created this instead of doing everything from scratch, right? That's a hack. You need to learn this hack from me so that you don't have to do it again and again and again and then kill your own time. Use that time to do more things, right? To create a different variation of your page, to add more copy to it, to write better copy, to learn something else, right? But do not waste your time doing manual things, right? That is not what you want as a developer, okay? Okay. Now you need to add world class support to it. Okay, this needs to be on bold too. And then this is going to be the text. Okay. You might ask me who writes all these texts and all. So this is the copywriters in my team, and they do a freaking amazing job for that as well. You can also use ChatGPT, but they are not that great. You can use this for basic understanding, and I think a basic research is still fine using ChatGPT. But make sure you use the paid version of ChatGPT and not the free ones. We invest heavily in our tools, so yeah, I mean that's a good option as well. But unless and until you do not know how to use it, it's a waste of money. So make sure that you know how to use it and then only buy the tools. Okay. But by the way, ChatGPT and all the integrations are also available on Go High Level. So Go High Level is doing freaking amazing job when it comes to, you know, adding new and technologies into their tool, which is already amazing, right? So there's so much, they're doing so much, right? Okay, now we're going to add these kind of images here. So I'm just going to show you how to add these images, which you've already seen, by the way. But let me just do and to get this done. Okay, so I'm going to add that thing here. I want to add yellow here. And one thing that you might have noticed is that you need to add the element which is similar to the background color. And the reason is very simple. You want to make this, uh, it should look that it belongs to in there, right? You don't want a red on a yellow or a yellow on a pink, right? It just kind of doesn't look good. Okay. I hope that you enjoy my YouTube videos, guys. I have a lot of YouTube videos that you can literally learn from scratch, right? And if you're somebody and is an agency and you want to hire us or me, then make sure you just visit PritamBhadra.com, because PritamBhadra.com is where you would be able to see a lot of our work. You can also visit like LinkedIn. A lot of our clients are on LinkedIn and they approach me on a day-to-day basis from LinkedIn itself. So you just go to Pritam Bhadra, just type Pritam Bhadra, and you will find me with 17,000, almost 17,000 followers, right? So again, you can see here. So yeah, I guess that's pretty much it about me. Let me go back and do my job there. Okay, I think this section is also complete. Let me preview it and showcase to you so that you can understand that how we made the entire section in this video. Cool. This was the first section. This was the second section with the logos. And now this is the third section, which we built in front of you from scratch. Pretty amazing, right? Let's go forward and move and build other sections too. Now, this is going to be the our story section. This is where we showcase them about who we are as a business, what do we do, and our story also is filled with photographs. Why? Because we want to showcase them about our business, about our people, our culture. A business is formed by its people. If you do not show people in a consulting firm website, then where exactly you're going to show it? On an AI website? Not really, because they want to eliminate people and want to show more of tech, right? So you also have to understand that the customer psychology behind building these websites. So in our story, we want to share a lot of people, right? And we already have a lot of people, right? Okay, by the way, we just want to make sure that we add some spacings to it. So the margin here is going to be 40, and the margin at the bottom here is going to be, uh, you know, 60. We want to add a lot of margin to it because we want the entire site, the entire landing page to be very spacious. It should feel premium, feel very neat, clean, and highly designed by a specialist like you and me. Okay, because we are specialists, right? So that's the way to go and proceed forward. Okay. Now we want to add this yellow color. We also want to add this photograph and these texts, and then these two photographs here, the text here, a button here, and then again you can see there is an element which is very light color. A subtle change of the brand is what we will give them. Okay. So first of all, let's get the entire section with yellow color that we already had, right? Now we want to have a two row column here, okay? But as I told you, before you start developing, you need to understand that how exactly the section is built. The only time that, the only way you do it is by doing more and building more websites, okay? But I want to help you understand this and visualize it even before you get into the builder and start creating it, okay? As you can see here, this is an image. This definitely needs a one row column. And this again needs only one row column. There is no other column, right? So it's going to be a two row column, one column here, two column here. So, right, one row, two column, right? Simple as that. And these texts are stacked on top of each other, okay? Here you basically need three column, one for this, second for this photo, third for this. But in this video, for simplified purposes, I just grabbed this as one for one photo. So for this, we only take two columns. Okay. I hope that was easy to understand. Let's proceed forward. Okay. So you want to have an image here. So we will have an image here. Oops, sorry. Okay, now we want to have that image which we saw here, and then we will add the respective text on that. Okay, so I already have that image here. That image is beautifully added here. Now you can see here that every image that I add comes with some default padding to it, 10 pixels, 10, 10, 10. If you do not want it, you can change it. It's actually up to you, but I'll let it do its job until unless I want to change it really, right? So I just want to grab these texts because I don't want to put a lot of efforts for the things that I've already done. Okay, that's how you differentiate an expert with a noob. Okay, a noob does everything from scratch, an expert knows what to do and where to do it. Okay, let me make it 44 pixels. I want to have the headline here as well. Okay, I just want to make sure they are also bold and they also have a headline, the button. Okay. Okay, sorry, this is going to be the text. I want to copy the text here and I just want to add this. Okay. Now, since I copied this text or paragraph from this one, this already had some padding on the left, which I can see that it does not align, right? As you can see here, if I do is, there is some spacing to this, which I do not want it. So I just want to take this, I just want to take this and minimize all that 20 to 0. Okay, that's how it should look, and that's how it looks. It looks perfect. But I also do not like the space here. So as I told you, if I do not like it, I'll remove it. And that's what I want to do. I want to remove the entire thing. I also want to remove the entire thing here so it looks a bit bigger. I guess that's pretty much it. But yeah, the spacing here is more than what we have here. And as you know, if you have been my student as of now, you already know that the way to do it is very simple. To add 20 pixel of padding to it, it just separates and makes it look freaking amazing. That's the way you want, that's how you want all your things to look premium, clean, and top notch. Okay. Now you want to have some spacing to it. So I just want to make sure that I add 80 pixels of this. I really want to have some spacing on this. Okay. And then I want this section. And basically I'm going to do the same thing and I'm going to copy this. Definitely I do not want the 80 pixel of padding to it. So I just want to make sure it's zero. Right. Then I want to skip this section here. And I want to grab this section here. I don't want the headline at all. I don't also want this headline at all. Rather, I just want to have this text and a button, right? So I want to grab the text, copy it, make sure the spacing is all right, and then copy this button, right? As you can see, I wish I could add elements to this line, add, elements. Basically, all the same elements should have the same kind of CSS, but that's not possible as of now. So you really have to just copy paste things to do it. And I don't mind doing it because the only thing I don't like is I have to drag things all over the website. So that's the kind of pain. But that's okay. Okay. Um, so you see here that has a lot of spacing, right? 40 pixels of spacing. I want to make it 20. Okay. I think this is good as of now. Our story section where you're sharing about your story. Now you want to have that image, right? The image which has these uh, two employees and a team there, right? So I want to have and add that image as well. Here you go. I added that image. I want to make sure that this is properly placed. And I also do not want much of spacing to it. So I just want to make sure that this is zero. Internally, it should be zero. And then we'll check about the other things. Now, I also want to have some spacing here to make some differentiation. 10 pixels is fine. Okay. So that's how, ladies and gentlemen, you have built this section as well. I want to add some spacing into it. Space is super important. People who do not realize spacing is, you have to understand what spacing is. Without spacing, it's going to be very difficult. Okay. I was thinking about something and I wanted to share this with you. Since you have been on my YouTube channel from a long time, I believe that you should know about this as well. This is a story about one of our prospects that come to me. And she was like, Pritam, why do you have so much of space on the top? And that was a landing page. And as you know, a landing page do not really have a lot of buttons, a lot of nav elements on the top. And she said, Pritam, I do not like it. Take headings, take subheadings, and add all of that on the top right hand side so that it looks fulfilled, right? And that's the kind of people you do not want to work with because they're kind of a pain and they do not really understand UI. They have no understanding of UX, and they, even though they want to hire you for thousands of dollars, but they don't really want to trust you based on the knowledge that you have, right? So I kind of avoid these kind of people to make sure that you also do if you really don't want hassle in your life, right? So yeah, that's just a quick anecdote from my experience of building an agency. So yeah, but yeah, most of my clients are amazing, as you must have seen. Otherwise, they won't be my clients. So we kind of have a qualifying process for this. So only when they qualify, they process through it. So only the good clients are my clients. So that's the way to put it simply. Okay. If you have more questions, I believe many of you have questions, right? So just drop them in the comment section. I'll be really happy to answer them. Okay. Probably I can also create some videos on it. Let me know what do you want. So I just want to drag that thing here that because this is not our services. Okay, this first of all, this was never our services. This was our story. Okay, we have to change this to our story. And the second thing is that we really neglected, right? Which is we have not added this element, right? And we want to have that element. So the way you do it is very simple. It's very simple that we did last time as well. So we just want to have grab that element to it and then make some changes, right? And you just have to make some changes. Instead of making it parallax full center, you just want to make it 100% width, right? And voila, here you can see that element just came up, right? And it looks pretty nice. So that's fine. What is this? Okay, I just want to preview this and then it's going to look amazing. Okay, so you want to save this first of all. Okay. So since you're already saving this, you can also just refresh the previous browser or previous landing page to see the changes that you did, right? So you can see the logo got bigger because we made the logo bigger, and now it has everything, right? So our story section has what is required to be our story. Okay. Now we want to proceed forward and make our services section. Okay. Our services section is this. Let me show you what else we have. We have our processes. Sorry, it's our processes, and then we have get in touch. We have use cases, then we have our results, then we have why us, then we have our clients, then we have contact us, and then we have the footer. Okay, so it's quite a long time to go again. So, but make sure that you stick to the entire video because it's going to help you a lot. Okay, so now we have our processes. Okay, so our process is very simple. We just want to drag it and make the change of our process. Once our process is added, we want to add the headline here. So we already have this headline. We just want to grab that headline because it already has the CSS, right? That I keep repeating about, that you don't have to do it again and again. So it already has what we want. And then we are going to add it. Okay. We don't need anything else. I probably just add a 10 pixel of padding on top, or margin on top, and then we can add these three sections. Now these three sections, I generally want them to be more, I want them to have more space on the left and right side. So I want to take the entire section and then make it left, and I don't want to make it that allow rows to take the entire width, which is, you can see here. Okay. Now I'm going to select a new three column row. This three column row is, again, since we have allowed it to take the entire width, it's going to take the entire width, but I don't want that. I just want to make it like this should take like 86% of it. That's pretty much it. That's all I want. Okay. Now we need to create this. These are kind of, this looks like cards. And I want to show you how to create these kind of cards, which are very unusual in Go High Level. But if you're just a bit more creative and a web UI person, you can definitely create something like this. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. Okay. First of all, there's going to be three columns, right? So we have taken a three column row. Now we want to fill these with our colors. Okay. So we're going to have this primary color, which is added, right? Now, I don't want to create more changes here. I want to make sure that all the changes are first done here so that I can basically copy them and then repeat the entire process, okay? So here you have 0, 1 as a text, and you have the second text here and third text here. So let me see you know, the font of it, 52 poppins, okay? I want to add a heading, and I want to make it 0, 1. I want to make it 52, and then I want to make it bold white. Looks perfect, right? It should be right aligned, but it's too much on the right. It's almost sticking out through the border. I don't want it. I don't like it. Just want to add like 20 pixels to it, right? That's perfect. That's how I want it. Okay. Now I want evaluation, right? Evaluation needs to be of a 32 pixel poppins. So we'll just add a 32 pixel to it. Okay. Uh, so this is 32 pixel of, so we want to add a subheading here, and then we want to add evaluation. So this has to be 32 pixels. So I just want to make sure this is 32 pixels, right? And this has to be left aligned, right? So this was right aligned and this is left aligned, okay? You have to keep that in mind. Make it left aligned, and also make sure that you have the same padding. So for this, you had 20 padding on the right hand side. So for this, you will be having 20 padding on the left hand side, okay? And then you want to have the bold section as this, and then you want to have this paragraphs. Okay, let's see the what is the paragraph font, which is 18 pixels, which is great. We can just copy this paragraph, add it here, just make sure that we can visibly see it, right? Of course we can see it. Then I want to make sure that the padding goes the same way because we want to make it center aligned. We don't really want anything else, so this is too much of padding onto this. Just make it 0 as of now. Same goes for this. Just make it 0 as of now. What is going on? There is one extra line, so we don't want it. Okay, this is the normal structure. Now we want to have some spacing understanding to this, because when we add spacing to this entire thing, then it's going to look exactly this way, right? This way, the way it looks with proper spacing, right? So we want to make sure that we change all this. So we want to take this sub headline, and then we want to go here and we want to add, right, 200 pixels. You can see it has 200 pixels. I probably do not think we want 200 pixels. So first of all, here we want some pixels. So here I'll add like 40 pixels, right? That's good. Here, probably not 200. I'll just probably make it like 150 and see how it looks. Okay, so I want to make it 150. I think that's better. Now, for the text here, for the paragraphs here, I just want to make it like 10. And I want to make sure that the bottom here has 20. Now this looks very similar to this. I can probably make it 40 as well. Yeah, this looks very similar to this. So let's go and proceed with this. Now, the thing that we need to do is we need to make sure that the edges are curved, because the edges here are seriously curved and they look very nice. So we want to make it that they are curved. So we're going to go to advanced, we're going to go to full border, and then we want to make it so it's 1 pixel. The border color should match the color of the card. And then let's make it 20 pixels, or 15 pixels also fine, right? All edges, yes, all edges. Okay, amazing. So we just created a same kind of looking card the way it is now, and now we're going to duplicate everything and just change the color, right? That just makes the entire thing easy. So let's just duplicate it, right? And we just delete the other things. Those were basically placeholders. So select the center thing and make sure you have some padding to it. Make sure you add some 20 padding to it. Okay. So the first thing you have to understand is this is like it takes majority of the space. So it's if this is 20, 20, 40, then this is 60. Okay. That's why you have to understand the ratio for them. So since I made this, a bit of like 86, I want to make it like 88. And then I'm going to squeeze them a bit like this. Okay. Also want to make sure that the padding here is also 20. 10 is also fine. Okay. I want to create a duplicate of this. Okay. Now then I want to add like 20 pixel on this. Probably the same thing. So awesome. Now we have that kind of same proportion that we were looking for, right? It's just super interesting for me to do and make those changes. Now you want this to be okay. So first of all, the color here is yellow and it has a border to it, kind of orangish border and a bit of shadow as well. So we are going to make this yellow. Cool. Then we want to add some border to it, which is going to be a bit of orangish color. Cool. Now we also want to add some box shadow to it, which is going to be, let's say, 10% drop shadow. Okay. Now we want to take the headline and we want to make the headline black because we want to make sure it's visible. Same goes for the evaluation, which is there visible, and same goes for the text there, which is visible. Okay. Oops. Or this one. Okay, awesome. So you probably have what we want. Okay, so if you see here, that execution is actually it's complete black, but this is kind of grayish color. Okay, so we just want to make it gray. So the way we do it is very simple. We just select on, go into the color palette and choose something that is a bit grayish and then add the color. Simple as that. Small difference can make a lot in terms of how you view things, right? So you have to understand that as well. But do not worry about it. You're on my channel, so you're going to learn everything. Okay. So this is going to be execution. So click on this and make sure that this is execution properly. And then grab that text here. So all these cards are basically, right, is to help them understand that this is an efficient and impactful process. Okay. So we first evaluate things, then we first execute things, and then we launch things. Okay. So evaluation and that content on this is going to be on evaluation itself. Okay. Same goes for execution. If this execution, the content of this is going to be on execution itself. So make sure that all these things are kept in mind. Otherwise, otherwise it's going to not make sense. So that is super important because you want to stack up your skills. So not just web design, you also want to understand how the layouts are being done. What is the logic behind this? What does a copywriter think like that? Right. So copywriting is a different skill altogether, but I'm just saying it, right? You can also develop skills based on what you like. Okay. Simple. So but in this video, I want to give you a complete walkthrough experience because that's beneficial for a lot of people that I've seen. Okay. So that's the reason I want to mention that as well. If you're not a copywriter, you can ignore that. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. It's going to be our execution. So we're going to copy this entire thing and this text as well. And you just want to add this. Oops. Oops. I think I did some mistake. Let me just do that entire process again. I think this is perfect now. Now we want to have launch and we want to have the text for the launch as well. And then we want to copy this entire text here and then add this. Okay. This looks pretty amazing the way we want it. Okay. We still have the border here, which is in different color. We want to make sure that this is the color that we wanted. Again, apps have a lot of plenty of spacing to it, guys. Have 60 pixels of spacing to this and have 60 pixels of spacing. Let me first check if there's anything else. There's nothing else. So let's add 60 pixels of margin to it. Okay. Now let's preview it and let me show you that how much we have achieved till now in this video. And thank you for staying on this video till now because it is a long video. Somebody who is truly dedicated to learn about Go High Level Web Design is probably going to watch these videos. And I truly appreciate what you're doing it. Keep doing more of what you're doing it. Okay. But this is what it's going to look like, and you can see here this is what it looks like, very similar to what we did and looks fantastic. Okay, now we're going to move forward to the next section, which is this contact us, for a free consultation. This is kind of a break in between so that people can, you can show them the call to action thing as well, and they can click on it and then proceed forward to book a call with them if they are not satisfied. Okay, so that's something that they can do, and that's what we're going to add here as well. Awesome. So we are now going to build this get in touch contact us section. Right. The way to do it is very simple. As you know, you must have to create a full width section. And once you create the full width section, um, you won't have that same brand colors. But one thing I want to share with you is, can you see the borders? The borders here are curved as well as curved here and also has the same element here, right? And this, of course, is going to be a one row and two column structure in order for us to build this entire thing. Okay. So we just want to make sure that this section has the same color. So we just added the same color and we want to make sure that we now have full border width. Uh, make it of the same color. Then you can add the border radius, let's say 15 pixels. What it does is it adds a 15 pixel border radius to the entire border. And since the entire border covers the entire section, so it gets applied to the entire section. That's how CSS gets applied to the element that you choose from, right? I hope that makes sense. Now let's proceed forward to do the entire thing here. Let's click on row. So I want to have a two column row. Very simple to understand. We want to write get in touch. So we can just copy this thing here and we want to add it here, right? Just copy it, the spaces, get in touch. We want to make it center aligned since all the text here is going to be center aligned. So you can also copy these headlines here and then paste it. But this has to be white. So I just make it left aligned. When they are left aligned, the boldness, I'll just make it white and I'll just click on consult us for a free contact us for a free consultation. Sorry about that. Yeah. So that's how it's going to look. And I believe there is a text to this and a button to this, right? Just grab the entire thing properly. We can add this same text here. We just want to make sure that there is not too much of padding. because that is not required. I believe these are a bit more than 14 or 16. These are 18, correct. So there has to be 18 pixels there instead of 16. And then there has to be of the white color so that it's properly visible. And here, as you can see, there is some padding on the left hand side, which we do not want. So there is 20 pixel of padding, which we are going to make 0 of. Okay. Now we also want a button to it. So we already had a button here. So instead of just creating the button again, changing the colors and everything, I just want to make sure that I add it here. Okay. So I just added this here. Okay. So I believe we got what we wanted, but we definitely want to have a lot of margins to it. So let's say you want to have 16 pixels of margin to this, and the bottom as well, I want to have like a 16 pixels of margin. Now I also want to add that squarish element, which you have must have seen on both the sides. So I just want to add that element as well. And as I told you already, the way you add it is by adding that in the background. So you need to create those element rights and then just add it on the background. Okay, and make sure they are 100%, they are of 100% width so that they can get where they want it to be, right? So I believe we just did this perfectly, right? This looks amazing. Now let's proceed forward to create this user cases section, right, where we can showcase individuals, then we can have startups, enterprise, on all of that. Okay, that's the next section. It has a white background, so there's nothing much we need to do here in terms of background color. So we'll be choosing a full width section to it, and then this is as usual. You can understand this is going to be a two row, sorry, a one row two column structure, and it's going to be again a one row two column structure. Okay, let me create a one row two column structure here. Okay, so this is user cases, or basically use cases, I presume, but anyway, just do it the way it is. No, drag that here and then write it the user cases. Okay, whatever it is, right? Then I want to add that headline here and that sub headline here. Okay, so I just want to grab what I already had in here. I'll change the color for sure. So this is going to be of a, basically this is a bold text color, so I'm going to change it to a bold text color and just copy this entire thing here and then paste it. Okay, I'm not sure about the um, font size, which is here 50 pixels. Is this 50 pixels? No, that's 44. That's the reason why it was taking uh, less space. Now this looks fine. Okay, we also want to have, make it like this. We also want to have this thing here. So let's understand and see what are the text here. So we have a like text, and this definitely has a lighter color compared to the headline, because the headline should be the center of attraction, which it already has, and it just amplifies based on how your eyes see the changes. Okay, so that's it. Instead of making it black, if you just make it a bit grayish, that just makes it help. Okay, now I want to add this thing. Okay, I also want to have editable text on this. So you cannot write editable text on a graphic, right, element. So the way to do it is to add this as a column. Okay. So this column will have a background which will have that photo. Pretty smart, right? That's how you do it. Okay. So you take this. Oops. Okay. Now you just want to make sure that this is, instead of parallax, this is full center, right? And you also want to make sure that this has full border. The border can be a 1 pixel. You can make this border invisible and just make it 20 pixel. That should be good. But you must be thinking, Pritam, this is so bright, but this is a bit darkish. And since this is darkish, I'm able to read the text on this. If I write text on this, then this is not going to be visible properly, correct? You are 100% correct, my friend. The way to do is very simple. You click on this column, right? And then you make the background color as black. Okay, but it will not change anything then the opacity of this is 100%. So it supersedes the background color, right? So you have to come here and you have to check the background image opacity, and from none you have to make it half fade, and then you can see it has that kind of a shady blackish shade. Okay, now you can add individuals and you can add all of that text. Okay, so I'll write here with the headline, I'll write here individuals. I'm definitely going to make it cornered, and I want to make it, but the boldness is going to be white, and I want to have some spacing to it, which is going to be, I don't know how much it is. Let's make it 20. 20 should be good. And then I want to have these text to this, and I can just copy this text and place it here, and also copy the same text here. But at the same time, I want to make sure that these are white so that they are properly visible. At the same time, I want to make sure that they have a 20 pixel padding so that they kind of are in the same space. Okay. Um, cool. I think this is good enough. Now, if you see that it is kind of, settling at the base and not at the top. The way to do is very simple. You click on the individual and then you add some margin to it. You want to add like, it's 100 or 140. Yeah, I think that's good. That's pretty good. I like it. Apart from that, you want to make sure that there is some significant spacing for the two columns here. But here you do not really have a lot of spacing. The way to do it is that you select the second column and you add like a 20 pixel padding to it. Okay. Now this makes it looks fantastic and very similar to this. Okay. You can also change the opacity by making it half fade. You can make it light fade if you want. If you want to make it like non fade, see, if this is like zero fade, you really cannot see the change. Okay. By the way, the heading, right? So yeah, so if you really have, if you don't have any kind of a shading to it, you're not going to see it. So I just want to make sure you can also make it heavy fade, but that's going to make it really dark. Instead of that, I also want the background element to be visible. So I want to make it half fade because the background image is a representation of the text on top of it, right? So this is the reason behind everything that you should be doing on the website. So since I'm showcasing individual, I'm going to showcase an individual entrepreneur, right? I do not want multiple people here because then there'll be more people, like it's going to be a small startup. But since these are for individuals, so I'm going to have an individual person, right? So as simple as that. But I want definitely want to have like a padding, oh sorry, a margin to it. I'll give it 80 pixel is fine. Now I want to create the entire section, and the concept behind this is going to be exactly the same. So basically, I'm going to copy this entire thing. I want to make sure that a margin I applied right now is reduced to 0, right? I want to duplicate this entire thing. I want to delete this entire text column because it doesn't make sense to have some text here. So I just want to have it here, right? So I'm basically, guys, I'm just using the same principle which I told you, in the earlier section, that I do not want to, create everything from scratch. Rather, I want to use my intelligence and my know-how of the builder and make it better and quicker. Okay, I just want to grab the image here. Since all the properties are already applied to it, I can just grab the image I want and quickly change it. Okay, so in this case, it's going to be, which one is this? It's going to be these two people. So here, right? And this is going to be the enterprise, which is going to be, of course, more team members. That's why you want to show enterprise as well. So you need to also be very selective in terms of usage of photographs, because the way you use photographs can determine a lot of things, right? So you can see here 400. I want to make it like 170, right? Must have thought that I made this 170, why this thing also gonna change, right? Because this thing, if you can see here, this is still 140, but this is 170. So I made this 170, but why did this also change? The reason for this is because all the row columns here should, right, respect same kind of height, right? And it always, takes up the height of any element that has the largest height. Okay, so if you make this element 180, then this column is going to take 180. Okay, by default, automatically. So that's how it works. Okay, I will make it 170 here, just to make sure that he has his own margin. Okay, so now I want to make it startup. I want to add and write startup here, right? And then I want to add the text here the way it is added. So I want to add that text here. And then I want to add enterprise here, right? And then you can add this text here, right? So you added this text here. Awesome. This looks perfectly the way I designed this to be, right? So I hope that I was able to make you understand how exactly you need to do it, because see, this is an image which you can change always, and you can also change the text on this, which is freaking amazing, right? So yeah, again, Go High Level did an amazing job with this. I really appreciate what they do on a day-to-day basis. Right now, we want to add the buttons here, right? So I'm going to grab the button here and I'm going to add this. Awesome. I want to make sure that the button is on the aligned right, and there is one more button I want, which is browse our features. So browse our features was here. I'm going to duplicate this, and then I want to add this. I'm going to drag it to the bottom section, or where my element is, desired element is, and I want to add it. Okay, so I added this here. Again, as you know, I want some spacing on this, so I just want to make sure that this has 20 pixels to it, right? Lovely. That's how you build the entire thing, guys. I hope you liked it. Um, it's not yet completed, so I just want to proceed forward and make it the complete homepage of this website. Okay. So this is now the entire thing, how it looks. Let me just delete the other ones, right? So that you can make a comparison of this, right? I mean, awesome, right? It's almost 1.5 hours and we completed this thing as well, which is pretty similar to the way we had in the original space, right? Amazing, great job, guys. Let's proceed forward and let's keep creating the other sections as well. Right now we are at this section. This is a very important and beautiful section. It's about the results and it's about these kind of texts, and then you have why us, and then you have a client section as well. So let's proceed forward to add this as our results. We want to make sure that the background color is of yellow, right? And then you have two column section here. In this two column section we have our results. So here I just want to duplicate this and duplicate this. I just want to grab the same elements on there. So sometimes it is kind of a problem to grab these elements. So make sure that I mean, I kind of got a hang of it, but yeah, if you're starting for the first time, it can be a bit annoying. So finally got it. Okay, awesome. Now I also want the text to be in here. The text is also dragged here. Awesome. Our results speaks volumes. Of course they do. This is going to be our results, and this thing is going to change to our results speaks volumes. Now this part is all about the text here, so I'm going to grab that. I want to grab this text here and then add it here. Of course I want to make sure that the color on this is going to be that kind of a darkish color, and since there is already a padding to it, I want to make sure that the padding is 0 because we don't need the padding on this for now. And one thing you can do here is you can make this, aligned properly on the left and right. So it just makes it look nicer, right? Then you can have these three sections, okay? The way to build these three sections is uh, you can understand from the alignment here. This is going to be a one row, three column structure. And this is going to be a one row, two column structure, okay? So we're going to build that one row, two columns, three column structure first. We're going to have some three columns here. In this three columns, as you can see, this is white, white, and this is a photo. Okay, so we're going to have it as white. Oops. Got it. Okay, cool. Sorry about that. Let me make it white, and then let me make it company supported. Company supported. What is the size of this? Okay, I'm very sorry. I just keep dragging it again and again. So let me just check on this. It is almost 37 pixels. So we're gonna make it 37 pixels. Gonna add a subheading to it, and we're gonna make it 37 pixels. And then we're going to have these texts. I believe these are 18 or probably 16. I'm not sure. Okay, these are 17. So we'll just make it 16. But there, I think we are good. These are 37, right? So these are 37. Okay, these are perfect. Now you also have this text here, which is um, basically this shows that how many companies that they have worked with or have been their clients. So 190 plus. So what we're going to show is we're going to click on this, and then we're going to have a heading line, and then we're going to add this a 190 plus, and we want to make it right align. Okay, we also want to have give it this color of red, which is also the one of the brand colors. And now we have all the basic elements required in order to build this entire section. However, we do not have the padding necessary that we needed, and it's going to be hard work. So make sure you do not start creating these new sections or new columns. We basically is going to copy it and use our hard work that we did already. Okay, so we for this we are going to definitely work hard, and we're going to add like 20 pixel on this. We're going to have a padding of 20 pixel on this. We're also going to have padding of 20 pixel on this, right? Want to make sure that this is a 16, right? Um, and then I want to have this as how much is this? This is probably a lot, 72. Okay, so I'm gonna make this 72, right? And we are going to add padding on the right hand side of 20 pixels, right? So this gives us a rough understanding of how this is. This is basically getting all the features that we wanted. We're gonna make it 60. We also want to make sure that the bottom padding is also taken care of. 20, right? So this, I believe, according to me, this is taking the shape of what it's supposed to be, right? But in here, as you can see, I think I think we need to make it 40. Let's make it 40. And here also, let's make it 40. Awesome. So now we basically have the thing that we normally wanted in terms of spacing, in terms of text, in terms of text size, padding, margin, everything is proper. Now we want to make sure that it has some round corners. So we want to give it a full width, and we want to give the border color to be transparent because we don't want it to be interfere in this. And then we probably have 20 pixels of padding to it, right? We also want to have some shadow on this. Just go to box shadows here and then add like 10% of it. Okay. Awesome, guys. So we literally got everything that we wanted in terms of uh, this thing. This looks pretty amazing. I believe this already has 10 pixels, which is great. So we can make it this 20 if you want. Yeah, 20 is fine. Okay. This is what we wanted it. I think the radius here, right, is a bit more. So we want to make it like 10 pixels should be good, right? I think 10 pixels are better. So let's proceed forward and duplicate this. Let's enjoy a bit of our hard work, right? So we want to make it 20 pixels here, and then we also want to make it 20 pixels here, and here it's going to be an image, right? So image is here. Image is this image of the lady, right? So we already have this image here, and see, if you see the image, I mean, even though we are giving them all the opportunities to take the entire width, but it is not. So the height here does not match to this one, right? The reason for this is because this height is based on the column of the entire thing, and this is based on the image, right? So we want to make sure that all the padding which is being provided here is now, we make it to 0. So it literally takes up everything that it can possibly, right? Even after that, you can see that there is a difference and there is like this few pixels there, right? And the reason for this is because the column here also has some padding on it. So I'm gonna make it 0. Awesome. Now they are all on the same line. That's how you make things possible, guys. Let's add revenue generated, right? And then let's add this entire thing as well. Awesome. Now this is definitely going to be 160 million. So this is going to be 160 M, right? And this is the picture, right? So of course we got whatever we wanted to, and this looks freaking amazing. Now we to proceed forward to the next section, which is this one. Now this section has a photo here, which literally covers almost two-thirds of the entire space possible. And then you have the growing business here. So no problem at all. We basically are going to copy the entire thing again. And then we're going to delete this entire thing, this one of it. Okay. After this, we are going to make sure that this is going on the right hand side. And this literally takes up the space. How much space is that? It's a bit more than what is currently available. So yeah, this is not required as of now. We just want to make sure that we have all the text properly added, and then we're going to add some CSS onto it. By CSS, I mean settings changes. External CSS is not required on this tutorial. This is going to be 170%. Now this photo is going to be changed. The reason for the deformity is because of the photo's height. The photo's height needs to be changed and adjusted properly in order to get the desired results. So we already have a photo of that. And here you go, guys. You just got what you wanted, right? So I just want to make sure that this is 20 and amazing, right? This is exactly what you wanted, and you already have this section, right? This looks freaking amazing. This is what we wanted, and this is what we got from our, the previous setting. Now let's proceed forward and create the next section as why us, right? Why are we the best fit for you? And then let's learn how to create this section here because we want to make sure that this section is touched on the left hand side, but we also have some space on the right hand side. What is the way to do it? What is the correct way to do it? I'm going to teach you in this tutorial. So make sure that you watch this video till the end. Thank you so much for watching till now. I see that you're really dedicated, to your improvement, and so keep watching, guys. Keep learning, right? That's the only way to proceed forward. So we just want to add some margin to it because, as I told you, I like things free flowing. I like things with a bit of space. Because the more space you add, the more cleaner and premium it looks. We don't want things to be cluttered, you know. Then you have why us, and then you have this headline as well, and a sub headline here as well. Okay, so you want to have section here. Then just want to copy it, and you can just write here. Okay, as you must have seen, copying things is a hassle. So I hope Go High Level adds some and there's a solution to it. Then we can definitely make faster builds, right? So why plus very simple, and then we have this text. Just want to drag the entire thing here, sort of wasting time and creating a new one and then adjusting all the CSS to it, right? And then you're going to have this subheading. Awesome. Subheading can come from this paragraph. So just add this. Right. I want to make it center line. Okay. So since there is a lot of space to it, I just want to make sure this is 10 pixels already. And this also has some spacing to it, right? No. I think we are good here. We just want to have a lot of space, padding, sorry, a lot of margin on the top. That's pretty much it. Okay. Now you might be wondering that how can you create this section here? Because this photo is literally, till the border, and then this has a lot of space to it. And the way to do it is very simple. Just need to know the trick to do it, right? Have a two-row column. In this two-row column, make sure that this is okay. You have to make sure that the entire section is allowed to take complete width. And then this section, you can add that photograph at the bottom of the entire column. Okay, so you select that column on the left hand side and then add the complete photo to it. And once you add the complete photo to it, make sure this is 100% width, right? So you already can see the difference now, but I want to add some padding to it to make it look good. I also want to add some default margin to it here so that it gets separated by what it had from the right hand side. Okay. Now I want this to have some border to it. The border should be 1 pixel and it can be, orangish. At the same time, it can be this one. It can be between pixels, right? Also, how can you achieve the entire length of this? The way to do is very simple. The way to do it. This is a hack that I found out with a lot of effort, and I believe that if you use it, it's going to be beneficial for you. Right? So you click on colors, and then you click on make it transparent, and then you click on the margin, and you just literally give 100 margin to this, and just make it 400. So you just gave 400 margin on this. Now you also want to make sure that you have 100 margin on this, but you also want to make it 300. Okay, that's literally how you get the entire photo, built. Okay, I hope that you really like this, trick here. And now we are going to add these sections here where you can click on this and it's going to represent you with this, submitting. And as you can see that this photo also gets optimized, which is freaking amazing. Um, and the way to do it is very simple. You need to use something called as, uh, navigation bar. Or okay, let me just find it for you. FAQ section. Okay. I don't want FAQs like this because they are like pretty condensed and we do not have option to have margin within the questions. So I'm just going to remove this entire thing and then I will have these texts. Okay. Okay. So they're going to be simple like this, right? And they are going to have this element as well. So we can write row, right? And then we can add this one as okay. So once you drag on this, right? So I'll just show it to you. Once you click on this, it has the option to go up and then you got what you wanted. Duplicate this 3 times. Now each time you're duplicating this, okay. Each time duplicating this, make sure you add some margin to it. And the way to add margin to is you need to go to advanced here and then add, let's say, 40 pixels to this. Okay. Now go here as well and then go to advanced and then add 40 pixels to it. All right. That's the way to go, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you really liked it. I just want to make sure that I quickly add these things, right? You can make it change color. I'll probably make it change color to the color that is of the brand. Okay. So the way to do it is you need to go to color options. This is the red. I just want to make it red here. All right. The same goes for this one. I want to make it. Uh, I want to go to the color options and I want to make it red here again. Same goes for this. I want to go to color options and I want to make it red again here. You can increase or decrease the length of these text depending on how you want it, but that's basically how it's going to perform. And then you also have this sweet little button here, which I'm again going to copy from this part, I would literally drag it down to the bottom, right? So I'm dragging it down now. So in this section, I'm just going to add it at the bottom here. I want to make it like left aligned. You just want to go to general sections and then make it left aligned. Okay, this already has some spacing to it, I guess. But whatever it is, this just looks pretty amazing. Let me just preview it and showcase to you that it exactly works the way it is supposed to be. And that's what all I want, right? You want things to be unique and desirable in the Go High Level builder, and that's what you get. Okay, let me just so you have this section here, right? Let me just go back to it. Okay, so this is how it is going to look with one section open, right? You can just open more and more section and it literally just builds up everywhere, right? This covers up the entire thing. It also has a button to it. That's the way you do it. And then you can add more text to it here. You can add images also, all right? And the images can be, just come up on the screen as well, which is amazing. And the way to do it is very simple. You just click on this. You can add an image here, right? And we can change the text here. Okay. So we don't want to change in the text here, since this is going to be a templatized format. So we just want to proceed forward with our web building skills, and I want to make it 60 pixels here. Okay, so now we're going to proceed forward and create one more sections, because in this section, I'm going to, okay, this is the one that I created. Okay, in this section is going to be the client testimonial, right? The client testimonial is super important because again, I'm going to give you the principle of how you can create this entire part here in this testimonial part. Okay, so make sure you watch the tutorial, right? And it's almost the end. So this is the end of almost the entire page. I really appreciate those guys who were watching till the end now, because I was the guy who used to watch these kind of videos from scratch, step by step, 6, 7 years ago. And if you're watching now, if you want to improve your own skills, then that is pretty amazing. Congratulations on that. You already won half of the battle, guys. So yeah, let me proceed forward and copy things. I like to copy things because I just don't like to drag things. Yeah. Oh God, I better write wires. Oh God. Okay. Um, Finally I got it, guys. Okay. Here from what our clients have to say is going to be our clients, right? So we're going to write it our clients. And we want to make sure that this is left aligned. And after that, we are going to have a text, right? And this is going to be this text. Okay. This text is going to be dragged upon, and once you select this, and be on the left hand side, and we need to give some spacing to this. Probably not required as of now. We just want to make sure that the subheading is also covered on this. So the way to cover the subheading is just grab this heading paragraph textures here and then drag it all the way to your own new section. Yeah. Oops. Let me get that out. Sorry about that. Um, cool. So we already have this section now, this thing now. I'm just going to copy it, and I just want to make sure that this is left aligned because that's how it's going to look good. It already has some padding. Do I need to change that padding? The answer is no, it's not required. I also have a button here, so I'm going to duplicate the button and add it here. Right, right. It's awesome. But you can see here that this has some padding to it on the left hand side, and I do not want that. So there is a 20 space, 20 pixel of padding to it, which I'm going to make it 0. And now is the most important part. We're going to create this entire testimonial section. So let's say this is my client, or this is one of your clients, and you already have the photograph of your client. So first of all, let's add a 20 pixel padding because I want to make sure this is separated. Then I want to add the client photo here. Client photo will be added like this, right? I want to make sure that this is center aligned, right? And then we have these texts. Okay, these texts are super important. I want them to be added there. And the background of these text should be white, all right, as you can see here. Now, this isn't enough. I also want to have this entire text here as well. So this is basically is going to be my paragraphs, and I want to add these texts here as well. Okay, probably I'll make it 18 pixels, and then I'm going to add the background as white, and everything here is going to be left aligned. Okay, the same applies for this as well. Everything is going to be left aligned. The extra line is going to be removed. This is also going to be removed, right? But this is kind of sticking to the corner, so we don't want it. We want to click on the entire column, and then we want to have more spacing into it. So let's say we want to add like not this one, let's add 20 pixel of spacing to it. This also can take up like 20 pixel of space. Sorry, this is not required. So let's make this 20 pixel of fading spacing. Okay. Now this looks good the way it is supposed to be, or you can also make like 30 pixels if you want it. I guess 30 should be good. Right? Okay, awesome. Now what we want to do is we want to have it adjust the spacing on this. Okay, so click on this. Never add margin here. You just need to add like spacing. Make it my 40 pixel spacing. Then you need to have some spacing here as well. So add a margin of 20 pixel. That won't be good. So no margin here. Margin is going to be 0. Reading is going to be, let's say, 20 pixels. Okay. Okay. I hope that this made sense to you. So Emily, John. Also, we want to make sure that there is a padding on the left hand side of 20 pixels. This also is going to be a padding on 20 pixels. And wow, it's already coming into shape the way we want it. Okay. So we're already getting where we want it to be. This has a 40 pixels padding. So this also needs to be 40 pixel padding. And then the entire thing here is we want to go to advanced section with the subhead line, and we want to make it top border only, and then we want to make it like 2 pixel, 1 pixel is fine. How do we want it? We want to make it 2 pixel. Yes, let's make it 2 pixels, and then let's make it a bit lighter tone. So let's say use this tone, full border. Let's say we make it 20, and we only make it on the top edge, right? So it only changes everything on the top edge. Same we need to do it with the bottom border, and we want to make it like 2 pixel is fine. We want to make it like lighter blue, and we want to make it like 20 pixels, but it should only be on the bottom edge, right? So that's exactly how you build this entire text thing, uh, instead of changing anything. Okay, so here if you also want to add 20 pixel, that will be good. That just make sure that you have equal spacing no matter how much your texts are. Now you need to click on the column here because you really cannot see the client here, right? So you click on the subhead line and then you add some margin to it, and that can be, let's say, 100 pixels or 150 pixels, like that. Okay. Let's first make those changes and we will then rectify it and make it better. Okay, we want in top and bottom, we want to, let's say, make it 3 pixels, and we want this bluish color to it, and I only want it on, let's say, 20 pixels on all edges, right? So this is what you got, and this is what it was. So basically, it has more spacing to it, and the way to do it is very simple. Instead of just making it 150, make it 250. Okay, I think even that is not enough, so let's make it 400. I think this looks nice. And then here also at the bottom, you can add, let's say, 100 pixels. Okay. I think 100 will be a lot. So let's make 40. Awesome. Here also, I believe, you know, in this section, has got 400 is quite a lot. Make it 340. Exactly. So this exactly is how you want your testimonial section to be. You can also add, you already added everything that you wanted to. So here, I mean, this is exactly how this section is. Let me grab myself here. This section is, and this is exactly how this section is. Right. So I hope that this change in you're able to understand how exactly you want to change it, because if I now save this and preview it, it's going to be exactly the same, right? So now you can literally come, you or your client or anybody can literally come and change the text, or you can go here and change the photograph as well, and you can literally duplicate this entire thing again and again and again. So let's say you want one more column to it, and like you literally have one more column to it again with the editable text and editable everything, right? So this is freaking amazing. You know, this is how you should design on Go High Level, right? People who say that you can't really design good landing pages and website are probably the ones who are not really are involved too much into web designing, right? And that happens, right? But you just need to learn how to do things and to it, right? As simple as that. So now we're going almost at the end of the project. Here we're going to add again a similar contact us section, and then we're going to create a footer section. I'm going to show you how to create footers like these. Okay, so let's proceed forward. And we already had a section like this, if you remember. So we already had this section. We're going to copy this and we're going to drag it here. So you can see here there are instructions of these. So I just want to click on this bottom arrow, because every time I click on the bottom arrow, it takes me to the next bottom section. I want to click again and again and again till the time it literally reaches till the bottom, right? So it literally now in the bottom, I do not want it to have the curve edge at the bottom. So I want to proceed forward in the advanced section, and I want to only make it top border. So what it exactly is going to do is it is going to make this bottom section, there will be no border to it. So let me just go. You can see here it is selected as all edges. Those are all edges. I only want to write top edges because at the bottom I want it flat. So this has a different section, different construction. The way it is, everything is here is center aligned, right? Nothing on the left, nothing on the right. Everything is center aligned, which is a nice way of doing things. So the way you do it is very simple. You click on this. You click on only one row column. Okay, let me drag myself on the top, and then you can just write it like this. Right. You need to make sure that this is center aligned, guys. That is super important, right? And you also want to get the text center aligned here. Okay. So you want to make sure the text is also center aligned here. Awesome. We basically got everything that we wanted, and we want to have two buttons here. So let's use this button here. Let's make it right aligned. Do we have a browse now button here anywhere soon? We do have it here. So let's just copy it and let's just drag it down here. Okay, I literally have to drag this down the entire page, which is pretty annoying. But let's do it because I want to create another button. Okay, okay. I got frustrated from this. I just want to create a new button altogether. Okay, so I just want to copy this button now. Okay, let's do some hard work, guys. Let's just copy this one. Oh my god. Oh god. I can't even drag this. Okay, give me one more time. Okay. Heck, I want to create my own buttons. Okay, I want to create my own buttons. But here you go. This is a button there. So the button is on the left hand side. The button is definitely going to have a background of no color, and it's going to say browse our services. So you're going to click on this, and then you're going to click on just do the entire thing and say browse our services. Okay, awesome. Awesome. So now we are going to make sure that this is of the same text size, which is going to be of 16. And then this needs to be having complete border, full border, or 1 pixel is fine. We're going to make it white. and we want to make sure that this is 150 cup. Okay, cool. So we literally got whatever we wanted, guys, and this has a lot of padding to it. We just don't want any kind of padding, literally, right? Just wanted it to be zero. And we also want the bottom, yeah, we want the bottom padding for sure, but we don't want any padding here, padding there, no padding, literally just make things zero. Okay, I believe the get in touch was not included here, so just remove this. Contact us for a free consultation here. We also have got our things here. So I think we already packed up. We already looking good, right? I think this is what we wanted. Now you also have this section here. As you can see in this section, right, there is these three columns. There is the social media section. There is the main pages, and there is consult pro business address and design developed by PV Digital. So the way you create it because is that first of all you see that there is a line that basically segregates or separates this. So the way to create is very simple. You just have to have one more one row column. In this one row column, you can have a divider. What we call this as, let me just check, button block category. Here you go. The divider is here. I don't have the divider here, but here in this you have already have 60 pixels. So you don't want it, you just want to make it zero. And you also want to make sure that everything here is also like very small, like 2, right, 20. We'll reduce it from 20 to 2 because we really don't want to have any kind of spacing here. So that's not required at all, right? Rather, we'll be creating a one more section here. This is going to be, of course, at the bottom. This is, of course, is going to be having the same color. And in this, we're going to have, you can see here, one part, second part, third part, fourth part. So it's going to be a four uh, column, one row. Okay. So four column rows. Here, we want to have the company logo and then we want to have the text. Okay. So we want to have a company logo. So that we want an image. We want to have that company image again, basically the logo again. All right. And then we want to have a text to it. But first of all, let me just grab it. Just make sure that all the padding here is zero because we don't want any extra padding to be here. Again, here as well as you can see, there is a lot of extra padding to it. We don't want all those paddings. Just want to make sure it's zero. And then we want to have, let's say, a paragraph, right? And the paragraph literally contain everything. And then the paragraph can be a white color, right? And so we want to make sure that we do not have any kind of padding on this, right? So that's there. And here also you will find that there is some 10 pixels padding, which again we do not appreciate. So we just don't want that 10 pixel of padding. What else do we need? We need the main home page. So we're gonna have some sub headline text. We're gonna make it home page, right? And then in this home page, okay, we're gonna go make it left aligned. We will probably make it a bit of slight a bluish shade, and then you can write any text you want. Okay, but by the way, make sure that you select the column and then you make the content spacing at left. The moment you make the content spacing at left, what basically you're doing is, okay, just listen. So now we have the home page here, and then we only, let's say, want to have uh, so it's going to be the main page or the home page, and this is going to be the home page. Or we can just write home and then change the text to here to 16 and make it left aligned, right? We can also add like, you know, 5 pixel of padding on the top, 5 pixel of padding at the bottom, right? And then create multiple duplicates of these. Why these are going there? All right, so you're just gonna click here. Pretty weird. Okay, let me just drag this up and let's do it again. Cool. So basically, the issue was that we were selecting this thing, and that was the main issue. So instead of that, just just duplicate it like this, right? And then you will have what you want. So home, let's say this is about, right? This is something else. Let's say business, something, right? Something similar. We just want to duplicate it, and then we can write here as team member services contact. So this is going to be team members. This is going to be services, and this is going to be, let's say, contact, right? This section is where we are also going to make it, left aligned, and then we are going to add something called as social icons. Okay, they have the social icons. Okay, now if you go to the themes of the social icons, you'll have different kinds of themes here. I want to add this one, right? Or probably this one or this one. No, I guess this one is the best. Okay. um Icon size height is fine, right? You only want the icons, by the way, right? So do not want anything else. And the advanced spacing, I don't want any kind of spacing because there is just too much of spacing into this. So zero spacing is fine, right? Left also zero spacing is fine, right? And in the column also zero spacing is fine, right? Same goes for this column. It also has like 0 pixels, so it's also fine. This is also fine, right? So that's, ladies and gentlemen, how you create the footer section as well. Let me preview the entire site and show it to you again of what we created in this long tutorial. Now, so this was a bit long tutorial, but I hope that you learned a lot from it, because this is literally we build the entire site, um, you know, from scratch, like from the top section here, right, with all the home buttons, right, the navigation bar, the header section, the headline, these buttons, right, these logos, our services sections. Again, it looks pretty beautiful and very neat and clean. Then you have the our story section, right? This is a top tier consulting firm website template, but yeah, it looks amazing. It looks like it was done by somebody who has a lot of experience, which I'm sure that you will also have once you implement whatever you have learned on this video, right? Also, you can see here, this also looks pretty amazing. Then we have this section as well where you should hire, and this just worked the way we wanted, right? It just works the way we need it to work, right? And we have the testimonial section also looking pretty nice. Then we have the contact for free consultation as well as the footer call, right? Amazing, amazing work, was completed now. I hope that you really like this. And if you're someone who wants to also learn how to make this completely mobile optimized, because let me tell you one thing, 80% of your, the traffic that you are going to get on your website, landing page, or funnel is going to be through mobile. So in the next video, I'm going to show you how to create this entire thing in mobile and optimize it from scratch the way we did this in video. I hope that you liked this video. Then make sure you click on the subscribe button and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if you have any queries, any concerns, make sure you click on the button, basically comment and write a comment for that. I'll definitely check it and reply to you. Thank you so much, and I'll see you soon.